Welcome Amakhosi Network, welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be chatting about something I learned about Cruz today when I was reading an article, Gufa post about Cruz being a coach who also helps develop young players, which is a good thing. So, and another thing I wanted to touch on today is some players that I think would be good for Kaizer Chiefs if Chiefs is willing to compete next season. But before we get into that, please like, comment, and subscribe. And please subscribe, guys. Subscribe. It's good season for Chiefs. So I read the post, and Pro said something very interesting. So this is where they asked the question: why Nasreddin Nabi requested to work with Cruz? So the reason why Nabi chose Cruz is for this reason. They said naturally questions have arisen about the compatibility of these two coaches. Let me assure you, Coach Nabi personally requested to working alongside Cruz. It goes on to say they share a strong bond, harmonious working relationship, and a common football philosophy. Nabi envisions Cruz playing listen to this part, guys, playing a dual role in the youth development and senior team at Chiefs. When I read this, I was like, aha. Cruz also helps developing players. This is the link we have been missing. The link of us understanding why was Cruz so important to Nabi. And why Cruz is so important to Nabi is that this guy is going to help integrate the young players into the senior team and ensuring that the young development team members have the right things that they need. What does that actually mean? It means this. Cruz is going to go to the development teams and say, I expect you guys to produce players that have this. So you guys need to start playing like the senior team and start implementing what the senior team does. And then he's going to start assessing the players. So right now we know players like Tati, players like Neo Butloko, all those players are coming up, and who else? Steven Mendes. Those players are starting to come up the Chiefs ranks, and they are looking to get into the senior team. So Cruz is very important because he's going to ensure that these players are going through the right kind of programs in order to be ready for the senior team. This is one thing we've been arguing a lot of times that has been missing from Kaizer Chiefs, and that has been a coach who can also work with the youth players. And you know what that means? If Cruz is going to be an assistant coach to Nabi, it means that Cruz will have a different job to what other assistant players are. He can assistant coaches are. He can identify a player that can support Nabi and he will promote them. And if you guys don't know anything so far about how Nabi works, Nabi loves working with youngsters who are hungry for the game. So Nabi has given, I think in AS Farabat, he has given two 18-year-old debuts, a 19-year-old, a 20-year-old. He gives young players debut, meaning that he's also a coach that believes in youngsters. So why am I saying this is important? It's important because what happens is that Cruz, we have a lot of players, like now who I'm going to highlight, Samkelo Zwane, who need proper development and proper guidance. If Cruz's job is to actually nurture and make sure these boys integrate, what does that mean? It means Cruz is going to take Samkelo Zwane, he's going to take Mdusha Balala, Mfundo Vilagazi, Done Jensen, and all these young players, and he's going to give them separate drills to improve them. Meaning, when Nabi brings his technical team to Kaizer Chiefs, do you know how Nabi operates? He gives different technical team members different departments to work. Cruz, we can see, is going to be also the part of the department that he has to give extra training to the youngsters to be ready for the first team. That is my assessment of that. It's something we've been asking for a long time. So I'm really glad that that's something we have. The only thing I feel like that hasn't been addressed so far is the striker coach. I haven't heard anything about that, and for me personally, I feel like that is important. But you know what? Let's see what Nabi and his team says, because they don't seem like they want a striker coach. Maybe there is an assistant coach there who knows good striking drills, so that also helps. But anyway, let's get to the players that I say we Chiefs should definitely by all means try to get these players. And when I say try to get these players are good for us to move forward, you know. And when I say good to move forward, good to compete. Number one, Peter Lewinberg. He's a goalkeeper that was a goalkeeper for Cape Town City. The reason I always mention him is because he was a solid goalkeeper, solid distribution. He was solid with using his feet. And his wife's family is from South Africa. So moving to a big team in South Africa, I think would still be good for him, because I don't think what he wants to do in Europe is actually happening the way he wants it to happen. Number two, Jaden Adams. Jaden Adams is an important one. I know he's chatting to Sundowns already, but if Chiefs could get Jaden Adams, it would do very, very well for our defensive midfielders, because I feel like Jaden Adams and Mtetwa have played together, so they know how to get the best out of each other. So a midfield that had Mtetwa and Jaden Adams, I think it would look good for Kaizer Chiefs. The next one, most important. You must remember, I started with goalkeeper because that's one we have to sign a new goalkeeper. And then I started with DM. We have to sign a DM. Left back. We definitely need a left back, and we need to go get Rushin Dudley from Cape Town Spurs, because that boy is going to be very, very important at the left back position. So we need to get that boy. We need to, because in my assessment, I think that Nabi is going to release a player like Mashiani. It's difficult. He doesn't really have left back qualities about him, but we will see. Right back, I feel like Frosler may leave Chiefs if the offer from overseas come in. I think he may leave Chiefs. So Dino van Rooyen is also a good one to get from Stelis. So if I was Chiefs, I'd prioritize getting Adams and Dino van Rooyen from Stelis. Those would be two good signings. But at the same time, we need to understand Stelis is going to be playing African football. So they're not going to release these players for a cheap amount, because they would still need to rebuild their squad. The next one is Apollos. Apollos is actually one of the most important ones. This one is one that we definitely need to get. We definitely need to get Oswin Apollos, because he has the abilities to score goals and create. And I feel like he's ready for the next move. So if I was Chiefs, I would get him. Oswin Apollos would be a good hire. The next two players I've added here is Luther Singh and Abubakar Nasir. We heard this week that Abubakar Nasir is apparently released by Sundowns. So he would also be a good hire. He's a good player. The only issue with Abubakar Nasir is that he received an injury when he started at Sundowns, where he broke some bones in his foot and stuff. And it feels like he has never been able to recover from that. So I don't know if that is why Sundowns is releasing him, or he just hasn't become good enough for Sundowns. I don't know. But it seems like Sundowns has released the boy. So good luck to him wherever he's going. And then Luther Singh, same one. He just has been a free agent for a long time. No one really knows what's happening with him. Ever since he got sick at his club, I forgot what club it was, I think in Denmark or somewhere there. It was Sbusiso Zuma's former team. Ever since he got sick at that club, he has not become the same player. So unfortunately for him, he has been a free agent, but maybe someone like Nazareth Nabi can revive his career. So that's all I have for today. Let me know if you are happy with these players. But other than that, Cruz seems like he's a very important hire from Kaizer Chiefs. He has a very, very important role with all these youngsters that are now in Kaizer Chiefs. Amakhosi.